In a quiet Canadian cafe, everything was calm until chaos walked through the door. A notorious troublemaker, someone already banned for past drama, stormed in like he owned the place. The staff politely asked him to leave, but his ego exploded. He started yelling, threatening, and posturing like he was auditioning for a villain role. But then came the twist. An employee stepped forward, calm, brave, and absolutely done with this guy's nonsense. Without a moment's hesitation, he lifted a can of pepper spray and unleashed justice straight into the bully's face. One spray shocked him, the second spray humbled him, and the third one escorted him right out the door. Peace restored, cafe saved, hero unlocked.
Few things trigger people more than seeing an innocent worker being harassed. A poor egg vendor was quietly earning his living when a heartless man walked up, smashed his eggs on purpose, and tried to humiliate him. The vendor was devastated, but the street wasn't having it. Within seconds, a crowd formed. Within moments, the bully was surrounded. The confidence he had just 5 seconds earlier instantly vanished. The people united, and justice came from every direction.
Some people genuinely believe machines make them invincible. One man, in an act of pure stupidity, tried to intimidate a crocodile using his car. He revved the engine, inched forward, and assumed the reptile would back away. Nature laughed. In a single explosive lunge, the crocodile bit the rear of the car with bone-crushing force, ending the challenge instantly. Lesson of the day? When you mess with nature, nature doesn't forgive, it retaliates. A young bully thought he could kick an older man and walk away with swagger. Except the old man wasn't fragile, he was built like reinforced steel. The bully launched a kick and instantly regretted it as the impact sent him flying backwards. He hit the ground while the old man didn't even flinch. A high school bully received a suspension notice and was told to leave campus. Simple instructions, but her pride got in the way. She refused, she argued, she resisted every step. The police were called. Officers tried to guide her calmly. But she fought, ran, turned, pulled, everything except cooperate. Eventually, she was handcuffed and escorted off campus. Being tough doesn't work when real consequences show up. On a busy American road, a man jumped out of his car during a heated argument, ready to fight. He marched toward the other driver like he was invincible, until he got close enough to see the man's actual size. Standing in front of him was a giant, a real-life mountain of muscle. Bravery instantly turned into survival mode. The man tried to sprint back to his car, but the giant caught him, dragged him out, and tossed him into the back of a pickup truck like he weighed nothing. Road rage rarely ends well, especially when the final boss shows up. A man in a movie theater decided rules didn't apply to him. He took someone else's seat and refused to move, no matter how politely staff asked. The audience got frustrated. Management got involved. Security stepped in. And just like that, the bully who wanted attention ended up getting exactly what he didn't want, a walk of shame straight out of the theater. In London, some tourists thought it would be funny to mock a royal guard while posing for pictures. They poked, blocked, posed, and laughed, completely ignoring the guard's authority. He grew visibly uncomfortable, but they kept pushing. Then a police officer arrived. In one sharp moment, the officer shut down the disrespect and ordered them away. Their joke ended, and embarrassment began. A woman was stopped by police because her tail light had been broken for 6 months. The officer issued a simple $80 ticket, but she exploded. She refused to sign it. She shouted insults. She tried to drive away. Her escape lasted barely a minute before the officer caught her again. When she kept resisting, he deployed a taser and she was arrested. All of this could have been avoided for $80. Another young man decided to film himself insulting a royal guard, convinced he was being edgy and hilarious. Even elderly bystanders told him to stop, but he doubled down instead. His disrespect grew louder until the police showed up. Within moments, he was handcuffed and escorted away. Turns out, mocking a royal guard is a shortcut straight into custody.
In Brazil, a man armed with an iron bar threatened a gas station worker, spewing insults and acting untouchable. But when he spotted the police arriving, panic replaced pride. He tried to run, he tried to hide, but he didn't get far. Police chased him down and arrested him within minutes, his attitude evaporating instantly.
At an airport bar, a frustrated woman snapped and directed her rage at a bartender. She shouted, insulted, and even threatened to kill him. The bar fell silent. Security was called. Police arrived instantly. She continued her meltdown, but not for long. Officers detained her and escorted her out as passengers watched in disbelief. Airport rage rarely ends with a boarding pass. Police responded to complaints about blasting loud music from a house. The man inside was drunk and overly confident in his fake legal knowledge. "You can't come in," he yelled repeatedly, trying to block the officers while stumbling over his own feet. They tried negotiating. They tried reasoning. Nothing worked. Eventually, police kicked the door open, entered the house, and arrested him. His lawyer mode ended faster than his music playlist. In Florida, police arrived at a tobacco shop where a man was threatening workers and customers. When confronted, the man began doing ridiculous karate moves like a movie extra trying too hard. And then, the peak moment, he threw a piece of meat from his lunch at the officer. The officer stayed calm, took him down instantly, and handcuffed him. Karate theatrics over, real consequences unlocked. A woman at a hospital began screaming at nurses, breaking rules and threatening staff. Employees were forced to call military police. When officers arrived, she became even more aggressive, stepping toward them and shouting in their faces. That was the final line. The officers restrained her, handcuffed her, and restored calm to the hospital. Chaos lasted minutes. Discipline arrived in seconds. A reckless driver flipped off a truck driver and tried provoking him on the road. He thought he was the alpha until the truck driver stepped out. The moment the truck driver appeared, built like a wall of muscle, the bully instantly deflated. No more shouting, no more gestures. He backed into his car quietly, like a puppy retreating from a lion. A teenage troublemaker thought he could square up to a police officer. He shoved, he barked, he acted tougher than he really was. But the second he stepped too close, the officer ended the entire fight in one move. A quick grab, a sharp turn. A driver was brake checking, yelling, and acting wild in traffic, convinced he was scaring the person in front of him. He didn't realize a police car was right behind him watching everything. The moment sirens turned on, his entire personality evaporated. He was pulled over, lectured, and humbled instantly. Karma arrived with flashing lights.